Hello.
How are you today?
It's Friday, so I'm good.
Yay. Okay, so all the alerts went out. Fabulous. All right, so welcome, everybody to the commentary zone. Today on the docket, we have The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 4, Episode 5, Family Therapy. What'd you think about the episode, Jamal?
I was like, they not playing.
Let me
I
tell
mean,
you,
oof.
Alexia got some strong shoulders because she carrying this whole season, but she was dead wrong. I am not on Team Alexia.
I'm on this one. I have to say I was Team Todd
Mm-hmm.
because what he was saying wasn't a lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't lying.
Um, Especially now that because you see, Alexia kind of talks in riddles, not even riddles. She talks in like every 3 words. So you don't ever get the full story. You just get the version that she wants to put out there. But when Todd defended himself and said what he said and stood in it, and he's like, as a person from the outside looking in, I said it, and it's true,
He
and
just
you're an
he
enabler.
Right. He just sat in it, and the thing is with Alexi, what she's not understanding is, and this is just looking at it, is that yes, you didn't have a life, but the problem is, it sounds like she never got any outside help. So as a mom, she probably just went the whole nurturing route. I need to protect my baby because I think in her head, she's I just need to keep my child alive, by any means
Mm-hmm.
necessary. So she got so wrapped up in that, and she was I think she said it took like a year or so. It was like a year of like really
It
just
was
being
more
there.
than a
I
year.
mean, the first year was like really intense, and then she said but she's been doing this the whole
Mm.
time, and she just never, without getting outside help, she was never able to get out of that mode.
Mm.
So she got like I think, and Todd used the perfect word. She got stuck. They all got stuck in doing the same routine, and trying to make things as normal for Frankie as they could. But by doing that, she wound up sheltering him and not really um making him do on his own, which is leads me to believe that maybe they didn't get any vocational help. I think that's what it is. Or you bring someone in to help you, or
Right.
someone like of that nature.
And not only that, I don't think they got therapy as a family unit. Well, no, Frankie needs separate
Right,
therapy. You know, he needs like a physical therapy and someone to help him integrate as much as possible back into normal living, right?
right,
But her and Peter, they didn't get therapy to get over the traumatic experience that they had with his accident. And then on top of that, they're a dysfunctional bunch. They were before Frankie got into that accident, and she mother hen her children. She spoiled them.
hmm
I think with Frankie's accident, she went into hyperdrive doing that. And this is the result. This is
I
the
totally agree.
result. Mm-hmm. So let's start off at the top of the episode with Julia is trying to milk a goat. And Martina comes out and they bring up this massage again. I don't think Martina is over this. But Julia says some nonsense about being flirty or something like that. I'm really getting sick and tired of her. But I do like that Martina kind of defended Gertie and was not really having it from Adriana.
She was being straight up upfront. She said, I didn't appreciate that. She's like, and basically what she was saying is like, how you giving her for massages and I only get one, and you're my wife and we've been together 13 years. You've known
Yeah.
her this amount of years. I'm laying up in the bed with you and I can't get her foot massage. That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
And you allowed that person to ruin your birthday party. Good for you, girl. um, how are you liking Martina so far on the show? I know she's not a wife or anything, well, she is a wife to Julia, but she's not like casted. But like, how do you like her?
I think she's hilarious because when she was a tennis player, it was all about her tennis and her athleticism and all that good
Hmm.
stuff. And she would speak she would speak out on issues. So that's just who she is. She's always been
Hmm.
outspoken and said what's on her mind, no matter
Hmm.
how anyone else felt about it.
Hmm.
And she's the same way here. You could tell like very she stands in what she says, and if she feels a certain way, she's going to tell you, and it's going to be the honest truth as she sees it.
Hmm.
And what she looks for what this so far what we've seen, right? She looks for resolution. She wants Julia to say like, you know what, my bad, I apologize. But Julia's not saying that.
No, she isn't. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm pleasantly surprised by her. She was always so focused.
Hmm.
Go for the win. A machine, And to see this is kind of like humanizing her, to see
Hmm.
her in her retirement, happy, fulfilled, in, I hope, a loving relationship with her wife. They're building homes together. Like, I'm happy to see this side of her as opposed to that tennis juggernaut that she was. And she's got a cool sense of humor. I like to see the artistic side of her. I never thought she had
Right.
this, you know and she is quirky, accomplished, and funny. I love it.
She has a
I love it.
very dry sense of humor. It's very dry. But once you get her and you watch it, you're like, oh, I get you now.
And I think she's used to being in charge and giving directions, because at the dinner where she was just like telling Adriana, we are not going to compete with
Tragedy, sorrow.
tragedy. Yeah, we're not going to do that. And it was kind of shut down. I like
Right.
it. She
Hmm.
doesn't say much, but when she does, she means it, and I like it. Julia better watch her step, because Martina's a really good catch. Like, don't fuck it up. Just saying.
Right.
Don't let Adriana come between you and a good thing.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be. This is maybe a little out of touch, but like, why would you go from Martina Navratilova, one of the greatest tennis players of all time, to Adriana? You know what I mean? I mean because Martina is secure. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's like really secure. She's very grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Adriana like is one of those women like she says she's Adriana 2.0. She's finding herself. And when you're at
She ain't
that
finding
age,
herself.
well, we're
She's
gonna go with
just
that.
fucking around. That's what she
Right.
doing.
We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. You know what I mean? So you don't go. This is just my opinion. You don't go for something that someone you've been with, who you love, grounded,
Mm-hmm.
13 years, holding you down. You're holding each other down. Then um, you go to someone like Adriana, like who you guys could be together for like 4 months, and then she drops you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And would those 4 months be worth the 13 years you've already put in?
Everything you said about my team. Tracy, you and I are separated at birth. We share the same brain.
But Yanni has a point though. This is true.
Martina's crazy to have a temper. Oh yeah. Cause I remember her temper from playing tennis. So who's to say that might not like come back if something that she holds dear is threatened?
Right.
Though I would like to say, I like to see a lot of people show their ass on these shows. Martina Navratilova is not one of them. I want her to remain at this level in my, I, I don't want her in the mud with the rest of them animals at the farm. I'm gonna just put it that way. If she loses her temper, I hope she do it off camera to Julia and put Julia and Adriana in their place. That's what I hope.
Right. You
Um,
have you kind of with Martina, you see her in a certain way, and you don't want to. With her, you just don't want to see the mask fall because she's not main
Mhm.
cast. But with the main cast, yes, all y'all masks need to fall.
Well, look, the people who get casted for these shows most of the times are nobodies. Like we don't know who they are, where they come from. They have nothing to lose, so they could come out here and show their asses.
True.
Martina Navratilova is a legend. I
Yeah.
don't want to see her showing her ass with these nobodies.
I wouldn't
No
say nobody.
disrespect, no disrespect, but in comparison, what y'all done?
No, I get you. You always want to people in their head. You kind of like when we saw Garcelle go on Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Established actress, been in the business 20+ years, making it,
Mm-hmm.
doing, still working. You
Mm-hmm.
you want to see she's main cast, so you want to see her in the mix, but you don't want to see her going down to the gutter with some of the other folks.
Right. And so now they doing the right thing and bringing on Cherie. Cause Cherie don't care nothing about none of these hoes and can show her ass. And then Garcelle can stand up and go, what she said.
No, I get, yeah. I mean, that's the easiest. That's a more. I suppose. I hope I made a good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
We just
Mm-hmm.
don't want you. Martina, we want you to be friendly with the girls, be like on like fringe mix, but not
Mm-hmm.
like in the mix and going to, yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah. I
We
got
don't
you.
want to see you leak. We don't want to see you leaking DMs and text messages.
Yes.
None of that.
We don't want to see a sex tape neither.
Mm-mm.
None of that. Mm-mm. All right, so Gertie and Russell go out to dinner together, and she tells him what happened at the party. He doesn't say much, but you could tell he's a ride or die for his wife, and I like
Right.
that. And they keep on showing like old pictures of them from high school, from when they first got together. And what did she say? I knew he was the one when he
Yeah, but
combed
he's all
out my
limp.
weave or
Yeah,
something.
he picked out. He's picking up my weave.
I thought that was so cute. Like she's so grounded despite all of the people that she works with that are notables. Like she could easily, her personality, she could easily, like lose her head, but I think he grounds her, and I think that's what she needs.
And she said that though. She put it
Mhm.
perfectly. She's like, we're the perfect opposites attract. She's like, I'm
Mhm.
big personality, outgoing, and he doesn't say anything. He's quiet. She's like, you ground me. She's like, and basically she's like, I need that. And
Mhm.
he was when she was telling him the story of what happened at the party, he was looking at her like, he was looking like, mm. He was like,
Yeah.
that's not. He's like, that's ridiculous.
Well, probably remember he was there the day of the foot wash. So he probably saw it too. And
Right.
he knew that that was shady as shit. Call a thing a thing. Um we find out, she's one of 7 children, and that we see the picture of her brother and his 2 daughters that he died with in the earthquake in, she said it was 2012. God, I can't,
2010,
2010, 2010.
2010.
um that was really, that was sad, but that's also another facet to Gertie and what makes her the person that she is today. um I hate to say it, but tragedy has kind of shaped her, because it's because of that she tries to be as happy as possible. She's in an industry where you are providing a service that
Mm-hmm.
makes people happy, that creates memories, you know. Um that she's I like her. She is a yakety yak, but I like her.
Exactly, and it's not, and she's not malicious. She's
Mhm.
just one of those people. She's like, I've been through so much. I'm not going to dwell on the small, petty things because I've been through much larger.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
I get that about her. I understand her, and like we said before, we all have a friend like that, or have had a friend like that, who's bigger than life, or is like Miss Positive, Mr. Positive, and you're like, you know what, you grating on my nerves, but I love you, and I
Mhm.
know I know where you come from, so I get you.
I always have a Pollyanna in my life because I do tend to be. on the more negative side. And my friend who is the Pollyanna, who I've had one consistent Pollyanna for about 20 years. And she pulls me back from the dark side. She does give me balance, and she reminds me that things aren't always so bad and people aren't always all bad. But yeah, I highly suggest and recommend that you have a Pollyanna in your life at one point or another.
Yeah, someone
Mhm,
sometimes a Pollyanna, someone who can remind you, like, you know what? Look
mhm,
at it this way. I get like I have a friend who's the same way. He'll be like, well, like you're a little harsh, and you don't. It doesn't have to be that extreme. Like, yeah, he'll be like, you're entitled to your feelings. I get it. I get where you're coming from, and he's this is what he puts it. From a clinical standpoint, you're correct. He's all, but sometimes you need to like not look at things so clinically and look at things more emotionally. So he's kind of like that way for me because I do look at
mhm,
things like these are the facts. This is what it is. This, da, da, da. But then I have to remember when emotions come into play, logic tends to go out
mhm,
the window. So as I've gotten older, I'm like, let me just start showing people some grace so I don't stay aggravated and I can move on and just
mhm.
let it be.
Yep.
It's tough.
Mhm. Okay, so the next scene we see Marisol and her husband are at a restaurant, and they're supposed to be on a double date with Alexia and Todd, but Marisol calls Alexia. They're going to be late. Um, Marisol and her husband start drinking. Alexia and Todd don't get there until way later, and Marisol's kind of drunk.
They was lit. They was lit.
When that server says, so let's just keep the drinks flowing, always say no to that in Miami. No, no. Are you serious? No. And especially if people are running on Caribbean Standard Time, like most people here in Florida, well, South Florida, yeah, your bar tab and you will be wasted.
Mm.
Um, let's see. What did they talk about? Oh, talking about Alexia and Todd talk about having problems trying to find a wedding venue. If they can find the venue, they don't have the date. But if they have the date, they don't like the venue, and they've
Hmm.
selected the day after Peter's birthday. So Peter's birthday is the 11th, and then they've selected the 12th. And Alexia then says in her confessional that she might be dragging her feet on getting married, and that it might not happen. And I think this is with regards to like the friction between Todd and Peter.
Right, because she really wants to have Peter in the wedding so her and Frankie could walk her down the aisle. And I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I get where Todd's coming from. I, and where his concerns lie. So I think both are valid
Mm-hmm.
concerns. I mean, Alexia wants her son in the wedding. Todd has issues with Peter. So, they need to work that out for her. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have friends in the past where they're like, look, you don't like nobody I date. I'm like, true. You probably won't like who I marry. True. But like if we do get married, I'm going to need you, and if you're invited, I need you to come there and just promise me that you will sit there and say nothing. Because I would be the one who's like when they say, oh, speak now for her, hold your peace. I gotta speak. You gotta speak. And I've made those
You would do
promises.
that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
If I think the person's like if I think you're marrying an asshole or someone that's not appropriate, yeah, I'm gonna say something.
See, here's where we differ. I would have told you that, and you still go ahead with it. I'm like, cool. It's an open bar. I don't care. That's your problem.
Debbie.
That's no. Look, everybody has to walk their own path, and
True.
some people have to find out the hard way.
True.
And then it just allows me to say, "I told you so, dumbass." Um,
But I'm just one of those people who will feel bad if I let you, like, I'm not gonna let you walk in front of a bus.
But I would have told them. But if you don't listen, some people just need to learn it the
Experience it.
hard way.
True.
Remember I told you that old saying that my mother has, hard ears, you won't learn, hard ears you're going to feel.
Right. I remember you telling me that actually.
Yeah, like I would have told you. It's not like I'm going to sit back there and not say nothing, go girl, he's wonderful, don't worry about them baby mamas. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be like, this is not a good idea. Are you sure? Are you sure? They keep, like, I will be that voice of reason. But if I realize that I'm not being listened to, why am I going to continue talking? I'm just
Mm-hmm.
going to be like, is there an open bar at this function? Because I'm going to need it.
I know, I know, I get it. You're just one of those people who would be like, I told you, you decided to go ahead and go mazel tov, as you say.
Yeah. I mean, it's your life, not mine.
And I will preface this. I see your point, and I'll say this: it depends on how much I like you. Like my close
Mm.
friends, we're going to have that. I'm going to try to probably ruin your wedding.
No, I'm just going to go to the bar. Or if you're not, or if you're having one of those dry weddings, which I hate, I will be bringing a flask.
Mm-hmm. Or at the buffet.
Oh my God.
At the food. Start dinner early.
Oh Lord. So Yanni says, I wouldn't marry a person that have issues with my son, no matter what, even if my son is wrong.
I get that because at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, if they don't get along, they're always going to be at odds, and you're going to be always feel in the middle. And who wants to be in a marriage where you feel like you're always in the middle? You can't enjoy your marriage that way.
But I would agree with all of that with everyone except Peter. I'm not ruining a good thing, a multi-million-dollar apartment down in Sunny Isles, Florida, where she's living, for Peter. Peter is determined to ruin his life and everybody else's life around him, sucking them into the vortex that is his fuckshot life, Peter, because she has spoiled him and he is beyond repair. He's a grown man. Alexia, you did your job with him. Let him go and live his life the way how he want to live it. He's not going to interrupt with
And
me
Yanni,
finding happiness.
and Yanni said, and not to mention, if you're going to love me, you have to love my son too. Yeah.
We can love from afar. We can love from afar. I agree with that with everybody else
Yes.
except Peter.
The Peter is consequences of yes.
She has created that monster.
She her guilt led to overcompensation. That's just the way I'm looking
He
at it
was
based on what we know.
spoiled before that.
No, so I'm saying she overcompensated. Well, I'm saying like she's always
Mm-hmm.
overcompensated and always done too much for him because she's
Mm-hmm.
so guilty about the decisions that she's made. So she's it's just overcompensation for her.
She
She
smothers her
feels
children. She smothers them. Ugh.
no. If she smothered, he wouldn't be the way he is. Sorry.
She does. It's like she okay, not smothers, but she puts up like protect them at all costs, but
There
at
we
what
go.
cost to yourself?
Agreed.
And then when you do that, you have to deal with the results because then, like Peter, my mom ain't gonna go against me. I'll do
Yeah.
everything. I'll get into this trouble, that trouble. My mom will get me out of it. Mm-mm. And she still did it tonight. I mean, in the episode, she's still protecting them at all costs. Like, girl, bye. Let's see. Next we see Adriana going to Larissa's house, and Kiki comes over with her little girl who was adorable. So Kiki and Adriana are trying to get tips from Larissa on how to start their OnlyFans pages, or what do they call their pages, right?
Yeah, pages.
Right. So Larissa's like, Kiki could do this because like she's a model and she takes great pictures, and they started showing some of the images and I was like, what? Amazing. So yeah, I could see that. But then they show Larsa's so shady. And I'm so glad that she did this with Adriana. She's like, I was looking at Adriana's social media page, and oh my God, I don't think she'll be good at this.
She's like, this is not OnlyFans. This is not what people want on OnlyFans. It's not like she said. I think she said she was trying to say this is not OnlyFans friendly. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was, but the pictures were horrible. The pictures were horrible. But you have to invest in those pictures. Like Kiki,
Right.
obviously, those are pictures from like professional photo shoots.
Yes.
Um, and I think Larsa has either mastered the selfie or she gets people to do like really good pictures of her to put up. It's an investment. It's not like us on IG putting up a selfie. That's not it. I don't know. The kid is spoiled rotten in my opinion, but I don't have kids. I just don't see why she overlooks everything Peter does. Her firstborn, probably. I don't know. Yanni says that she spoiled him rotten, not someone else. True. You heard he's been arrested now again. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did for domestic.
DV. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, hey, Bobby, welcome. Tracy, those IG pics were so bad though. She looked like some random tourist. Yes. Oh my God. Good luck, Adriana. But Adriana thinks that she can do her feet. And I don't even think Larsa thought that she could do the foot modeling. But
Larsa,
whatever.
but Larsa said she wouldn't. She's like, I think what Adriana said she would charge like $100 or something for her pick.
200 like that. And she said start with 5.
Right. Should I give you $5 for your feet? Wow.
Yes, we did did hear. Well, I heard that Sir Sidney passed away today. I don't know if it's
Last
today or
night.
what.
Last
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace. Another great one gone. Um these days. Wait, look at this. All right, he reminds me so much of Tamra Judge's son when he was
Mhm.
young. Yeah, yeah. And Yanni agrees with you, Tracy. 94.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good life. That was a good life. All right, so okay, so yeah, so she has no hope for Adriana, but Kiki should be good. Oh, they did ask her, how does she explain the OnlyFans to her kids? And she says, well, they know about it, but they know it's not for kids.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Next we see Nicole and her mom talking. Nicole hasn't spoken to her dad in a couple of weeks. Apparently, they have a strained relationship. She said she was a little kid when he went away. He's been out of prison for 15 years. And as soon as he got out, all he did was ask, where are the hoes? Nicole is resentful. Her mom is still very supportive of her having a relationship with her father. And the mom encourages Nicole to talk with her dad. Now, I'm so confused. When did he go to jail? Because didn't it say last week it was 15?
Yeah, but before that, she said it was 10.
And so
Remember?
now,
But then she said she went to um. I could have swore they said she went to private school or Catholic school or something, but I could be wrong.
so are you confused with when he went to jail? And if
To a
he's been
point.
out for 15 years, how old is she?
Nicole? She's
Yeah.
what, 28? I could be wrong. Let me just double check.
Yeah, because again, I'm very confused. He's been out of jail for 15 years. But last week she said that
Oh.
she's in her 30s, isn't she? Because she's been married twice. I mean, she was married before, and she's been with this guy for 6 years.
Okay, here it is.
Excuse me.
I don't know why I thought she was 28. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's when she started working her practice. Maybe that's when she started working. I was confused with it. My apologies. It says Nicole, the board certified anesthesiologist and mom of one, has not publicly shared her age, but
Mm-hmm.
we do know that she was born on September 2nd because Nicole graduated from the University of Miami with her undergraduate degree in 2005. It's safe to assume she's around 38 years old.
38. Okay. So he got out when she was like what, 23?
Yes.
23-ish.
Hmm.
So she had finished, she was working on her like
I would assume her med, yeah.
right. Do we know how long her dad went to jail for?
I thought it was 7 years.
Hmm. Sorry, y'all. I'm very confused by how she tells her story. So Blavy says she is 38. Um,
Mm, I'm looking at it right now. Keep going.
okay, so next we see Adriana is in the car with Jacob. They go to a classic car dealer. I guess she's looking for a car. Her dad had a classic car that she learned to drive on as a teenager, and she knows how to drive a stick. And for some reason, Jacob is really amazed at this. I'm not sure why. Most people from the Caribbean know how, or from South America or Europe, know how to drive a stick. So Julia shows up at the classic car dealer, and Adriana says something about how Julia has opened her eyes to her sexuality or something. So is
Yeah.
she now exploring?
Yes.
Don't do it with a married woman, though. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know. Pick someone who's available.
So
Uh huh.
basically, from what this is I'm just reading an article from Distractify,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what they are saying. Because they're asking about this part. It says Dr. Nicole's dad spent time in prison for money laundering and conspiracy when she was a teenager, which led her family to struggle financially. Her mother, who had been a stay-at-home parent for 20 years, returned to the workforce to support the family. So we're gonna teenage years. We'll say 13. We'll say 13 to 20. So if he got out when if he went since this says teenager, we'll say we'll go with her 15. I could have swore I've heard 10. So if he
Oh
got
yeah.
out when she's 38, he got out when she was 23. We'll say he went to prison roughly 7 to 8 years, based on the article and what we've heard on the show. We'll say 7 8 years.
Mm-mm. Okay. Alrighty. She needs to get her story straight. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll just go back and binge watch these and go and listen to her and jot some notes, and I can come back and tell you
mm-hmm.
guys.
Um, so what's her name? Adriana picks out a car. It's the same car that she learned to drive on. That her dad
Hmm.
owned. She buys it. They start talking about Gertie, and Julia says that Gertie felt like she wasn't heard and she was hurt. And Adriana says she's willing to forgive and move on. Um, I think she's only giving lip service.
Right. So here's above the she said 4 years, which makes no sense. See, and that's what I have to go back and watch.
Mm-mm.
That 4 years doesn't make sense because she said her teenage years. I mean, if you want to say 15 to 19, okay, but then he got out when she was 23. Like he was in jail. He got out 15 years ago. Yeah, time I have to go rewatch. Am I not understanding her timeline correctly or
No one understands her
okay?
timeline. It doesn't make sense what she's saying. And every episode it changes.
Okay.
Every episode it changes.
I'll rewatch this weekend.
So yeah, Ablavi says that how is she buying the car? She's broke.
I mean, but here's the thing: who says she's buying the car though? I mean, who says she is buying the car?
You think that what's his name? Jacob is doing it?
No.
Oh, so she has another benefactor?
I would assume so.
But you know, she has a talent for finding broke benefactors like Frederick.
I mean, I'm gonna be nice. Leah's not on the show anymore, so she lost her help, according to Leah.
Oh my
It was on
god.
Leah said it on the show.
Oh my
She
god.
did. That's how come Leah and her fell out.
Well, look, I'm not gonna put a girl down for having a
I'm
benefactor.
not. No.
Like, oh no. Why y'all saying that about Brazilians? Not all Brazilians are like that.
I think
No.
that's interesting.
Let's just that's just
Yanni,
Adriana.
Yanni, Yanni? Are you? I think Yanni is Brazilian. I
I
think.
think I think so, but I'm not sure. Yanni, are you Brazilian? Mm.
Oh, she's yep. She said because I'm one. She's all it's cultural.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. So we'll allow it. Let's see. Alexia and Todd, they're talking about her mom, and it seems like her mom's health is deteriorating. Um, but she really wants her mom to be a part of like the wedding stuff. She says that they need to go ring shopping to get the wedding band, and he's like, "Wait, you already have a ring?" And she goes, "No, you need the wedding band too."
Right.
Um, and they have this cute little interchange because he's like, um, well, she's like, at least I didn't take Lisa. And he's like, wait, no, definitely not Lisa. But she went with some other people and she picked out a $30,000
30K.
band. Um, Good on you, girl. Get as much as you can get on that finger. That's your first settlement.
Not the first settlement.
It is. That's your escape plan, your first settlement, everything that you have on that finger. You have to think, that's an
Right.
investment. Get as much as you can get. Um, then they start talking about Todd says that he spoke to Peter and they had a good conversation. So that's encouraging. At least it was encouraging from the
Right.
scene.
From the scene.
Then we see Larsa and Lisa getting together for lunch. Lisa doesn't think that Larsa is fake. Lisa says that Lenny assumes that she does nothing all day, and because she's a stay-at-home mom, but she also does something for him. Like she does the med spa business for him, doesn't she?
The you mean Frankie? Was it Frankie and Alexia the salon? Right? Is that what you're talking about?
No, no, no. This is Lisa. This is Lisa. Her husband Lenny, the plastic surgeon.
Right.
Right. Didn't they open up like a med spa? Like he does the plastic surgery and then she does she runs the med spa business.
Let me double check that. I can.
I
I
swear. I
let's
I
see.
thought I swore she was involved in that for some reason. I'm not sure why I thought that. Lisa asks Larsa why she and Scotty broke up. And Larsa says that Scotty was moody, and for years she did everything by herself, and she just realized that she wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I was surprised that she answered that.
She said he was moody. I was like, and she's like, no, and that's the way she painted it. Like, oh, he had mood swings, so I just couldn't deal with it. I was like, really?
But you know what? When she said that, I was thinking, I wonder if things changed when he retired. and he stopped being like this world champion NBA superstar to being at home or not doing anything, and then the financial losses that he had, that can make someone moody. Like you go from doing, like you're traveling, like don't they have like a really long season and they're traveling, going to different cities every couple of
Hmm.
days, they're doing the training, they're playing the games. That's a very active lifestyle. And then to retire, well, what are you doing?
Okay, so you're correct. Okay, so when she isn't taking care of her little ones, Lisa is running the Hochstein Medical Spa in Miami, where her husband works.
Okay, has she brought that up on the show, or do I just know that from like being down here?
I think you probably know from being down there, and I think you mentioned it to me because I think I might have asked you like, "Hey, do you know what Lisa does?" And you said like, "Oh, I think she helps her husband run a medical spa." I do remember that conversation because I was kind of wondering like what she
Okay.
did because I knew she was pretty successful before she got married as a
Okay.
model and fitness guru.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So I'm sorry if I am saying stuff that is not on the show. So I do apologize. I don't know whether she's brought this up on the show or not, but she doesn't sit there and do nothing. She
you know what it is. I think is she downplays herself for the show. To be honest, because she doesn't mention anything that she doesn't.
um,
Like, I agree with you. I don't think she's ever mentioned that she's and now she actually works and runs the medical spa with her husband. She plays it like, oh, I'm the stay-at-home mom with the kids, while my husband's this um fantastic plastic surgeon, which he is. Like he's like, from what
mm-hmm,
I understand, he's legendary. But she
mm-hmm.
downplays herself.
Yeah. I wish she wouldn't do that. But then again, she plays the role on this show kind of like Cynthia. She's supposed to be friends with everybody and she's supposed to be the mediator and stuff like that. Um, but I wish she would give herself some props other than, her handbag collection in that stupid closet that looks like a dry cleaner's. Um, okay, so hold on. All right, so the Peoples is chiming in. Yanni says he chose a longer contract for less money than couldn't renegotiate, and throughout his career he made a third of the money of Jordan. Oof.
Yep. It was in that link of our last show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the money he did. Like there was one year that Jordan made like 31.8 million for that
Mm-hmm.
season.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty made like 2.8 for that season.
But did that include what do you do where you promote products?
Oh, endorsements aren't factored into
Endorsement.
their NBA contract
That's his money from bouncing a ball?
for when he was for that one season.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
cause they were trying to show the disparity, like because people can't understand like, well, why is like Pippen like not have the money and Jordan this and Jordan, they're like, no, let's break down the contracts and compare it to Jordan, and that whole article did it. Let me double check for you guys. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, so Tracy says exactly, Debbie. He was around a lot more. They probably realized they couldn't stand each other, being around each other 24/7. And Morgan D, hi Morgan. I agree, Jamal, and I don't know why Lisa does that. I really like Lisa. She's harmless. I like her. She's wealthy. She has a huge house. She dresses nicely. Um, and she can make it, a joke of herself, which sometimes she goes a little bit too far. But I like her. She's easygoing. Let's see. And Jordan should have fought for him to get a raise and didn't. Well, you gotta push yourself forward.
Yeah, and this is the link for
Um,
like breaking down actually Scottie Pippen's contract over his playing career, so you can see like how disproportionate it was. It was insane to see that number, and this was in the 90s.
they screwed him over. Wow. Well, it seems like he's not a very good businessman, though. But oh well. Let's see. Nicole and Anthony go to dinner, and they're at a Greek restaurant. And I like Anthony. I could go to dinner with him because he wants to order the whole menu. He ordered the fish, he ordered the chicken, he ordered the octopus, and it had to be charred, not just grilled, charred. I loved it. Loved it. So they start talking, and he asks, "Where is his art?" And because apparently he bought a piece of one of Martina's pieces from the art show. And Nicole says that Adriana wants to bring it along with Martina. Like Martina wants to deliver it herself personally. So that's what was the holdup. Nicole says that Adriana says that she did art shows for 600 persons in Paris, but she thought that she would have done a better job for Martina's art show. But Anthony couldn't even get a glass of vodka. Like he couldn't get a drink at the art show. So she's not really impressed with Adriana. I'm gonna remember this because remember
Right.
Marisol said that
Exactly.
she heard that what's she name, Nicole, was talking about them in the streets. So I'm gonna remember this. Let's see. So then she tells him what happened at the birthday party. Um, and then she says that she starts talking about her conversation with her mom and that the mom wants her to reestablish a relationship with her dad. And he says, "Oh, well, I think he should be involved, especially in Grayson's life. He's Grayson's grandfather. Like, I would
Hmm.
be all for that." So he's supporting it too for the sake of his child.
Right. He's like, look, I grew up with a dad not in the home. He's like, my parents got
Mm-hmm.
divorced when I was very young,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, you know what? Like, he wants to foster that relationship. He's that's why he's all for it. He's like, you know what? It
Mm-hmm.
happens. I get it, but I'm not going to deny my child his grandfather based on past mistakes. Like we can work. Basically, he's like, we can work through this.
Mm-hmm. Now she says in this segment, that her dad missed her quince. That's the 15-year-old
Right.
party that they do. So he was in jail when she was 15.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is another marker.
Right. So if he was in jail at 15, if we're going with the 4 years, with the Blavy said he got out when 19, but he's only been out 15. You
Wait,
know what I'm saying?
but if she's 38, that'd be 23. It's still not
Right.
adding up.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I broke it, went through it that way. See, another doesn't really add up. So we have to do some digging.
Oh my god. Um, but what I did agree with Nicole was that she said it comes in waves. There's sometimes that she wants to
Hmm.
have a relationship with her dad, and then sometimes when she's on a downswing, it's like she's angry and no, like I'm gonna punish him. I'm not doing it. It's not worth my time. And
You know
then
what it seems like?
she goes up and down.
You know what it seems like? It seems like every time she experiences any little disappointment with him,
Mm-hmm.
or finds any little fault where he did something a little bit wrong,
Mm-hmm.
she goes into a down slope.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he's meeting her expectation, she wants the relationship. But if he fails her in any sort of way because she's still holding on to that trauma, she gets mad. Like
So, do you think that she's in a continuous cycle of abandonment?
until she works through it and they get through it together, yes.
Is he making the effort to reach out to her though? Like, yeah,
It
she didn't
sounds
call
like
him
it.
for weeks,
Yeah,
but
it sounds like it because the mom brought it up. She's like, "When's the last time you spoke to your father?" And we know since the mom encouraging the relationship, we have to assume that the mother and the father are speaking behind the scenes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I guess she's going to have to try to deal with this. And then in the preview next week, we see him. I think we're going to like him. I love it. Next, we see Alexia is at home with Todd and Frankie. Peter comes over. They seem good. They start talking about the wedding details, and then we see Frankie and Peter walking her into the living room as if they're walking her down the aisle. Everybody goes and sits down, and they start talking. Then Alexia and Frankie get up and leave Peter and Todd together. And yeah, it started off well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think Todd wants to hold Peter accountable for his actions and make him realize, and Alexia to a point as well, that Frankie is not your average normal kid. Okay? And yes, you want to go out and do things with him, but he's not going to be able to do what you want to do, Peter, which is to go out and get high, you know? And it's great that you want to take your brother out, but you have to be cognizant of his needs. And you can't be going out and getting high, because he said, when he said those paramedics over him trying to resuscitate him, like, that was traumatic to see. And that's not his kid, right? That he's seeing it as a human being fighting for his life. And something as simple as don't smoke weed around your brother, or don't offer him any, should be simple. Like, your brother can't go out and party like it's 1999. He just can't do that.
No.
And you should be okay with that. And you should be protective over your brother enough not to do that with him.
I understand you trying to make your brother feel like he's like one of the guys, a normal 24-year-old, but you have to also be cognizant that he's not a normal 24-year-old either. That's the part Todd's trying to get through to him.
Yep.
He's not trying to come down on you, but you refuse to hear what he's saying. So sometimes you have to like bludgeon people.
And it seems like it's not the first time that it happened, because Todd said it consistently happened. And I guess it's just the one time that his blood pressure went down so dramatically that he lost consciousness.
Right.
You almost, and this is what's killing me about Alexia. You almost lost Frankie once. You gonna let your other child make you lose him for something so stupid and reckless?
Right.
And she sat there and she said she had to fight so hard to get Frankie where he is today. She gave up her life to nurse this boy back to health.
She did.
Why would you be so willing to risk him again?
Because she's looking at it from, if this is his brother, he would never hurt him.
But he is.
Right, but she's not acknowledging that.
Child, like, I was here for Todd. When Todd sat down there, and he was just, as a third party who is looking at this from the outside, this is not making sense. All of you need therapy. And Frankie needs additional therapy because he could be so much further along. I've lived with him for 4 years. He gets up, he eats, and he plays on his iPhone. And I'm like, wait, what? So he's not in continuing therapy? Like, I that's all he does? Alexia, do better by your son, because in the natural order of things, you will die before he does. Who's going to take care of him? Not Peter. You need to set your kid up to be as independent and self-providing as possible. Will he be fully functioning? Might not be, but you need to get him as close as possible because he has potential. I don't know. Who was the driver when Frankie got into his accident?
I'm
You know,
answering no.
I've always wondered about that. She was very close mouth about it, and I didn't follow up on it. Hold on.
Oops,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Click the one you want. Okay. Frankie's friend was driving. It was raining and the friend lost control of the car. Did the friend survive?
Oh, let's see. Mm,
I wonder if she's been in therapy before. I hope so. I hope so. Because that whole family needs it. Her and the boys need it, and even Todd.
So it doesn't mention. It doesn't say. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't say.
Uh-huh.
It just says on distract. This is another Distractify. In between filmings 1 and 2, House of Miami, Alexia's entire world changed. Her son Frankie Rosello was riding in the passenger seat when he was involved in a traumatic car accident in August of 2011. The driver of the car was his friend, and he lost control of the vehicle partly because it was raining. The car went over a median and crashed into a vehicle going in the opposite direction. Okay,
Ooh.
so once he was out of the hospital, Frankie had difficulty regaining his speech, and it was unclear what long-term effects on his brain would be. Following Frankie's accident, Alexia also struggled with her older son Peter and his behavior. On the show, he discussed feeling guilty for what happened to Frankie and how he had become depressed. He was arrested
Mm-hmm.
in October of 2012 for punching a homeless man in the genitals.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah, I'm not sure. You know, why the guilt was there. Um, but I guess it was a friend that was driving the car.
Maybe he thought that he should have drove his brother home or
I was
wherever
thinking
they were
something like that,
going.
or maybe
Yeah.
he was supposed to be in the car or something.
Yeah, like something that you can't control, but or
Right.
you weren't even there or something, but maybe he's thinking it should have been me and not him or something like that. You never know. You never know. Okay, so I know we're a little late for Project Runway, but yeah, that was they really got into it though. And I was here for Todd. Um Although Alexia and Frankie left to let them have their conversation, they both come back. Alexia was standing up there defending Peter no matter what, and I don't think she's able to see this from an outside perspective.
But I
She,
will say this though for her, and she finally at the end did acknowledge that Todd had some points. Like she's all, we do need therapy. Um, you know, she did come around a little bit, not fully, of course, but she did come around a little bit. I'm like, okay, yeah, you need to get this because what Todd is saying is not wrong.
oh my God, yeah, honey says, don't you wish we had a button to just click and switch to the new line? Yeah, I do. I do, but I wish it was that easy, but it isn't. But yeah, this was a good episode. At the end, um Todd says that if she wants Frankie to be better, she needs to get help for all of them first, for her, like for themselves first, in order to then support Frankie. Um, he apologizes for his delivery, um, but he says that they just seem to be stuck. And then they hug, and Todd leaves. Like he's just said what he had to say, and he's done. I like him. She needs somebody like him.
He's gonna help her.
if she opens her ears
Yes.
and receives it.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, that was the Real Housewives of Miami season 4, episode 5, Family Therapy. Okay. So, thank you for tuning in. You guys were great in the live chat. Hello to everybody in the replay crew. Thank you so much for all the thumbs ups that we got during the live. Give us like about a minute, and we'll go over to Project Runway. Okay. So we'll see you there. Jamal, any final thoughts?
No, we are all set.
Alrighty. So until next time.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.